Welcome to Science and Technology Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: Cambridge must encourage diverse views. 9 easy tips for going sober in October and keeping it up. Anti-nuclear stance bordering on irrational, Holmes à court. Fugitive Jean Nassif's worthless degree from bogus university. AI is polluting the pool of human knowledge, news publishers warn. Cambridge must encourage diverse views. The Telegraph opinion. Professor Deborah Prentice, the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Cambridge, has outlined her vision for the institution and its role as a global and national university. She stressed the economic impact of Cambridge's research and commercial spin-outs, which contribute over £30 billion, $41 billion, to the UK economy each year. Prentice also highlighted the importance of Cambridge's research having relevance to everyday life across the UK, and the need to recruit the best students and academics from around the world. She emphasized the importance of freedom of speech and challenging conversations on campus, and announced plans to moderate dialogues at Cambridge on pressing issues. 9 easy tips for going sober in October and keeping it up. Telegraph. The UK experienced over 9,600 alcohol-related deaths in 2021, the highest number on record. With this in mind, the author outlines 9 steps to help people go sober or cut back on their alcohol consumption. Firstly, they highlight the numerous health benefits of reducing alcohol intake, including weight loss and a decreased risk of various medical conditions. Secondly, they discuss the challenges that may arise during the first few days of sobriety and the importance of acknowledging and managing difficult emotions. Thirdly, the article advises individuals to prepare for potential realizations about themselves and their situations that may arise during their journey towards sobriety. Fourthly, the article suggests notifying friends and family of one's decision to go sober and enlisting their support. Fifthly, it emphasizes the importance of preparing in advance for socializing without alcohol and making intentional decisions about how to behave in those situations. The article also advises individuals to identify and cope with their alcohol triggers, whether through the use of apps, podcasts, or other resources. It encourages people to find alternative activities and ways to have fun that don't involve alcohol. The author emphasizes that setbacks are part of the process and should be viewed as learning experiences rather than failures. Finally, the article suggests that individuals consider cutting back on alcohol or giving it up altogether for good, highlighting the potential benefits of a sober lifestyle. Anti-nuclear stance bordering on irrational, Holmes à court. The Sydney Morning Herald. Businessman and climate activist Simon Holmes à court has criticized Australia's ongoing nuclear prohibition, describing it as bordering on irrational. However, he admitted there was currently no compelling reason to remove the ban, as the development of new types of reactor supported by the coalition was still 2 decades away. Holmes à court argued that nuclear energy could play a role in Australia in the 2040s, though he criticized the coalition's recent embrace of the energy source, claiming it could cost votes in key inner-urban areas. Fugitive Jean Nassif's worthless degree from bogus university. The Sydney Morning Herald. Jean Nassif, a fugitive wanted in Australia for an alleged $150 million fraud, and former Goldman Sachs boss Tim Leissner, who is awaiting sentencing in the US over a major financial scandal, both purchased fake degrees from the same bogus university. Somerset University was listed as one of many bogus providers masquerading as genuine UK universities by the UK's official degree verification site in 2017. The university was prosecuted and fined in 1992 for selling unrecognized degrees. Leissner acquired a bogus PhD in business administration from Somerset University in 1993. AI is polluting the pool of human knowledge, news publishers warn. Telegraph. News publishers, including The Guardian, The Telegraph and The Times, have warned of the threat posed by fake news generated by artificial intelligence, AI. They cited instances where AI tools, such as ChatGPT, had presented users with fabricated articles that had been falsely attributed to real journalists. The News Media Association warned that the creation of fake news articles could have even more catastrophic implications if new generative models started relying on AI data instead of human-made content, potentially polluting the human race's collective pool of knowledge altogether. Inside Meta's plan to bring generative AI to billions. The Sydney Morning Herald. Meta is entering the chatbot market with the introduction of Meta AI. The chatbot is similar to others on the market, allowing users to interact with it to summarize topics, make suggestions, and access the internet. However, Meta AI goes a step further by offering specialized agents for different topics, allowing users to interact with them as if they were real people. Meta's chatbot offering comes after the rapid growth of OpenAI's ChatGPT sparked an arms race between Microsoft and Google at the end of 2022. Meta has been developing the underlying technology for Meta AI for 11 years and recently established its generative AI group to bring the product to market. The company also introduced its own text-to-image model called Emu, which allows users to enter short descriptions to get custom sticker options or generate images based on their descriptions. Meta's AI products aim to make technology accessible to a mass market and will be integrated into existing apps and devices. Meta is also bringing its AI assistant to its VR headset and is developing AI-powered glasses. The glasses will eventually have see-through screens, allowing users to access information seamlessly. Meta is also exploring ways to monetize its AI products, such as using AI to iterate ads and adapt formats or allowing businesses to use Meta AI agents for messaging and sales. The company is aware of the need to draw informed consent from users and has begun processing user information locally on devices for its VR headsets. The regulatory situation around generative AI and intellectual property is still uncertain, but Meta believes that these tools create more than they destroy. There's no way around it, we need to talk to our kids about porn. The Sydney Morning Herald. Adults need to start talking to children about the dangers of pornography, says Chloe Shorten in The Guardian. She argues that experts, parents and children themselves all know that pornography is often degrading and violent, and it would be wrong to ignore the issue. Shorten also criticizes the tech industry for failing to implement age restrictions on adult content, and says that self-regulation is not working. Corporate fraud cases, election speeches and jobs data. Financial Times. The trial of Sam Bankman-Fried, the founder of cryptocurrency exchange FTX, will begin on Tuesday. Bankman-Fried faces charges of stealing billions of dollars in customer funds from his now bankrupt exchange. The trial is expected to last up to 6 weeks. Meanwhile, in New York, the civil suit brought by Attorney General Letitia James against the Trump Organization begins on Monday. On Tuesday, Hunter Biden, the son of U.S. President Joe Biden, will appear in a Delaware federal court on gun charges. In the UK, former Cooperative Bank chair Paul Flowers is scheduled to face fraud charges in Manchester after the case was postponed in August due to Flowers suffering a stroke. The coming week is also significant for British politicians, as party conference season continues. Conservative Party leader Rishi Sunak will deliver his closing conference speech on Wednesday, while Labour Party leader Sir Keir Starmer will address the party's gathering in Liverpool next weekend. The Rutherglen and Hamilton West by-election will also be held on Thursday. The seat was vacated by former Scottish National Party MP Margaret Ferrier, who was suspended from the House of Commons for breaching COVID-19 lockdown rules in 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your favorite observer of all things 6 degrees, Dr. Six. Today, we have a diverse range of news stories to discuss, from the importance of academic freedom to the dangers of fake news and even the need to talk to our kids about, well, you'll find out. So, let's jump right in. First up, we have Professor Deborah Prentice from the University of Cambridge, who emphasized the economic impact of the institution's research and the need to recruit top talent from around the world. But what caught my attention was her emphasis on freedom of speech and challenging conversations on campus. It's refreshing to see an academic leader recognizing the importance of diverse views and encouraging dialogue. After all, how can we grow and learn if we only surround ourselves with like-minded individuals? Cambridge, keep up the good work. Next, we have some tips for those looking to cut back on their alcohol consumption. With the UK experiencing a record number of alcohol-related deaths, it's important to acknowledge the health benefits of reducing intake. From weight loss to decreased risk of medical conditions, there are plenty of reasons to consider a sober lifestyle. And don't worry, setbacks are just part of the process. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Moving on to Australia, we have businessman and climate activist Simon Holmes à court criticizing the country's nuclear prohibition. While he admits there's no immediate reason to remove the ban, he believes nuclear energy could play a role in Australia in the 2040s. It's an interesting perspective, and one that challenges the current stance on nuclear power. Maybe it's time for Australia to have a serious conversation about its energy future. Now, let's talk about fake degrees and fake news. We have a fugitive and a former Goldman Sachs boss both purchasing degrees from a bogus university. And news publishers are warning of the threat posed by AI-generated fake news articles. It's a reminder that we need to be vigilant and critical of the information we consume. So, be careful out there, folks, and always fact-check. Speaking of AI, Meta is entering the chatbot market with its Meta AI. It's not just your average chatbot, though. Meta AI offers specialized agents for different topics, making interactions feel more human. The company is also developing AI-powered glasses and exploring ways to monetize its AI products. It's exciting to see the potential of AI, but we must also be mindful of privacy and ethical considerations. Let's hope Meta keeps that in mind as it continues to innovate. And finally, we have an important call to action from Chloe Shorten. She argues that adults need to start talking to children about the dangers of pornography. It's a sensitive topic, but one that shouldn't be ignored. Shorten also criticizes the tech industry for failing to implement age restrictions on adult content. It's a reminder that we all have a responsibility to protect and educate our children. Well, that's all the news for today, my fellow Sixers. I hope you found these stories as intriguing as I did. Now, it's your turn. What are your thoughts on these topics? Do you agree with Professor Prentice's emphasis on freedom of speech? How do you think we can tackle the issue of fake news? And what about talking to our kids about sensitive subjects? I'm all ears, so let's hear what you have to say. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.